What's happening, everyone? My name is Phil with PrecisionLED.com, and today we have a 2008 Scion XD we'll be installing LED interior lights on. Now, this XD is considered a first-generation model, and this installation is compatible with year models 2007 and up. Now, today we're going to be using a PrecisionLED 5730 style premium LED interior conversion kit, and that kit comes with 3 interior trim tools that comes with every package. We have a fork-shaped wedge tool, a serrated knife tool, and a pointed wedge tool that help you with this installation. Now, today we're going to be installing our front map lights, the rear dome light, the license plate light, the trunk light, as well as the backup reverse lights. Let's go ahead and get started.
For the front overhead map lights here, there are 2 ways you can access the halogen bulbs. You can go through the lenses here, or you can remove this whole assembly, pop it down, and access the bulbs from the bottom. We're going to show you both methods, and for both methods, we only need to use the fork-shaped crowbar tool that you see here. Now, to get the lens covers off for the first method, you want to see which side it's pivoting on, these lens covers, and actually remove from the inner panel here and push out. So you're going to put the tool in between and force the lens out. And you can see where it clip into place here, and this is just a guiding pin. So now you have access to the halogen bulb, and this one's just a wedge-shaped bulb, and you can just pull this one out with your fingers if it's not too hot. All right, and that's one way to access. The other way to access is to actually remove this whole panel. You can do that by putting the tool in between the overhead console and the roof liner and pushing down. Once it comes down, you can see here these turn counterclockwise and the bulb assembly actually comes out. From this assembly, you can take the new LED. With these new LEDs, you want to make sure that these metal leads here on each side are actually pointing outward so they make contact. And you just insert it in place and put this one back in. So you can see the difference there. Now, to reinstall this entire panel back in place, you would start with the back side first and then just push it forward, just like that. To put the lens cover back in place, you want to make sure this guiding pin goes in first, and then using pressure, just click it back in place here and here. We're looking now at the rear overhead dome light. Now we're going to use the same tool, the fork-shaped end of the crowbar tool, and we're going to be removing from this side closest to the switch. You're going to insert the tool where you see these small indentations here and here, and slowly pry backward. Once you have one side, do it again to the other side, and that whole assembly now pops out. You now have access to your halogen bulb. Now, one of these sides has a bendable piece of metal. If you push this back, the bulb should pop right out, just like that. The new LED bulb goes exactly in its place. You want to put the bulb in from this side first and then push up against this bendable piece right here. Once you have it in, it's a bit of a tighter fit because the LED bulb is just slightly larger, but it still does fit. And you want to make sure that the board is pointed down, so when you turn it on, all the light is coming down into the cabin. Once you have your LED working, you're going to put this panel back in place. Now, there are 2 guiding pins, one here and one here, that go into the back first. And once you have it lined up, you can just use some pressure to snap the rest of the panel in. Just like that. We're looking now at the trunk lid, and we have 2 lens covers or covers that we need to remove to access the license plate bulbs. So we'll use the pointed wedge tool here just to pop this cover off. There you go. It's a bit difficult to see, and access is a little bit more troublesome, but as you can see here, right there, that is the license plate light. Now I'm gonna use a pair of pliers because it's a bit easier to see what I'm doing here, but I'm gonna use the pliers to loosen the license plate. Now we already have an LED inside, but what you would typically see is the halogen bulb. Now this is a polarity specific bulb, so you want to make sure you test your lights before you put it back in. So let me just go ahead and turn the light on just to make sure it works. And now that we've confirmed it works, we're going to go ahead and put it back in the assembly. So this is going to go in, and then you're going to turn it clockwise to secure it back in place. Once you have that light installed, sometimes you can just put this in and lightly twist it and then use the pliers to get it to its final position so you don't have as much of a problem. But once this is back in, you take your panel cover and you snap it back in place. And that's it. For the rear trunk light, we're going to be removing this assembly from this side closest to the end of the trunk. Again, we can use the same crowbar shaped tool here. Just pry back. And now we have access here to the assembly. We're going to unplug it here so we can let the bulb cool off. And since the bulb is hot, I'm just going to use a pair of pliers to remove the bulb. And now we can replace it with the new LED. Now if this is slightly loose like ours is, you can put some gentle pressure here and make sure that the fitment is a little bit tighter, just like that. Now again, remember these LEDs have to be facing down, so they're shining through the lens cover. We'll just plug back in to make sure it works. There you go. And you're going to put it back in where the wire side is first, and then wait for that click and let you know it's right back in place. To get access and replace your backup reverse lights, we are looking at the trunk on the side closest to the wheel well in the very back, this panel here. We're going to use the flat end of our serrated knife tool, run it along the edge here to pop the panel off. Once you have the panel off, the very bottom bulb here is your backup reverse light. You're going to twist it counterclockwise to reverse, to move it, and you can just pull it out. You can replace it with the new premium LED. And this is our 5730, I guess 10 LED, T10 wedge. And once you have it in, you reinstall the same way it came out, just in reverse. And this way you turn clockwise to snap it back in place. You'll want to test to make sure that the bulbs work before you put the assembly back on. But this piece, these two sections here, go in the back first, and then the rest of the cover snaps in place.
And that's the end of the installation. If you have any questions or concerns, please email us at help@precisionled.com, or you can reach us online and submit a support ticket at www.precisionled.com/contact. Now, like we said before, please like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video or enjoyed the process for what we do. It really does help us out when we make the next one, knowing that there's people out there watching the videos. Have a good one.